The only thing I knew about Cambodia was what I had learned as a child, because my parents, mainly my mother, was a part of the anti-Vietnam War movement in Sweden that was very strong at the time. And then I ended up in Cambodia merely by chance. It was not supposed to be like that, but yeah. And then when I was working there, it was a small library with Swedish books that former Swedish NGO workers had left behind. And there was one book from 1978, written by 4 Swedes who had visited the country at that time, which was a big surprise for me because I'd never heard about it. And during the Pol Pot years, from 1975 to 1979, the country was really closed. You couldn't get in and you couldn't get out. And you had these testimonies about genocide and different kinds of atrocities, but they were not, people didn't know if it was true or not. And then you had this Swedish delegation that had traveled through the country for 2 weeks, a unique witness. And when they came out, and everybody was wondering, so what is going on in Cambodia? They said, no, it's fine. You know, we didn't see any terror, we didn't see any genocide. We saw a poor, struggling country, but everybody's working hard, and the future looks bright for Cambodia. And then half a year later, it was revealed that almost 1/4 of the population had died during those years, the Pol Pot years. It was a kind of a surreal story. And I was really wondering, you know, how can you travel through a genocide without seeing anything? So I thought maybe I could write a story about it. And then I started to investigate and I started to do the research. And I realized that this cannot be fit into just a newspaper page. It just kept on growing and growing. And then I realized this is perhaps becoming a book. Today, Cambodia has a very young population. The vast majority was born after Pol Pot, so they had not themselves lived through this. And still today, the country was run by former Khmer Rouge officials, and they had no interest in really educating people about what happened during these years. But I'm quite certain that this kind of trauma, the genocide left behind, it's something that will be passed on to the next generation. And it will be even more difficult for them because they don't even know what the problem is. They have just inherited something from their parents, something that their parents maybe never talked about. There's so much mental damage inflicted on the people. So they will pass it on the new generation.